fresh start. But it's so easy to see through the big hole in their heart. This is just one tiny pause, a chance to become unstuck. Just 1 minute to breathe, to let my life catch back up.
Song that is our artist spotlight, Lyra, If I Were You. And if I were you, I'd go out to our website, www.avradio.org, and go to the artist spotlight page or tab, whatever you would like to call it, and you can read all about them. Very, very great band, and they're very humble, because you know why? Because I got two of them, two of the band members on air with me right now. Ladies and gentlemen, from Lyra, our artist spotlight of the week, I have Kieron Smith and Loz Davidson, live from the Liverpool, England area. Good evening, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you guys so much for and I just told you that off air, and you said it's not that late, but you know, for me, I'm an old fart. I'm in bed usually by 10 o'clock, but
oh yeah, well we've both got our English tea here, ready to go to bed. But no, it's really not that late. Thanks so much for having us on.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh my gosh, it is our pleasure, and I know that the response thus far throughout the week has been phenomenal.
Yeah, it's been brilliant.
Everybody on our end is just saying how cool it is, and you guys have a kind of a different sound. I know you call yourself alternative rock, but I would say alternative maybe fits. But sometimes I love rock, but sometimes I would say maybe alternative. But that's just me. Tell me why you come up with that genre.
Oh, we must have this discussion about the genre, like week in, week out. We even have people messaging us saying, you're not alternative, and they give us all these different sorts of suggestions. But I suppose we don't want to just pick a genre, because we want to go for as many different styles as possible, but stick to that Lyra vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Well, did you hear what I was saying a little bit earlier? That's why my shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays is called Mixing It Up, because I love all kinds of music. So
yeah,
that gives me a way out when I call my show the Mixing It Up, because I can mix it up. So now I am going to quote to you guys, and this is, and let me just quote this and let our great listeners hear this. The future of this band is simply to continue as we are, writing, performing, creating memories together that will last a lifetime. If the world gets to hear our music and share the experience in the process, then that is an added bonus. A, how humble and cool is that to have that attitude? And B, 179 countries have the opportunity to listen to you right now. So there you go.
Thanks very much for quoting that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's absolutely like our attitude towards it, and I think that's the best way for any new band, any new unsigned band to have. Otherwise, I've got so many people that just kind of, the only conversation they'll ever have will begin with, so when we're signed, this is how we'll get signed. But that's not our first. That's not what we're trying to achieve. First of all, we want to just connect with as many people as possible and just see how much they enjoy what we enjoy doing. So that's kind of our initial aim with the band. It's not to be signed, and it's not to be the biggest and the best and stuff like that, because we just want to enjoy it as much as possible. And at the moment, it seems to be going really well.
Oh, I would say. All right, Loz, let me hit you up with a question.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Kieron just hit on something. He was saying, just enjoy it, just relax and have a good time. I know you are the pianist, if you will, for the band. And I did listen to an interview that you guys did with the BBC.
Yeah.
and I think Kieron was out in front on that one. All I could hear was something about you had a really big keyboard, but
yeah, this gets brought up every time.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I went to purchase a new keyboard about a year ago now, and I somehow ended up walking out with the most expensive and heaviest keyboard in the whole shop, which I didn't actually intend to do.
Which we're still paying off, by the way.
Yeah, which we're going to be paying off for the next couple of years to come, probably. But yeah, so it's a great keyboard, but it does weigh an awful lot. And as you can see from some of the pictures we've been putting up recently, I kindly ask the other members of the band if they'll carry it round for me, because it gets a little bit of a struggle sometimes.
She says kindly. It's more like
abruptly.
It's more like, your turn to do the keyboard. It's never her turn.
Oh, I love it. So literally, I've got I got 6 pieces of paper with all stuff outlined and everything else with questions in that. But I just like, as I was telling you guys, just to have a conversation.
Yeah.
So Loz, going back to you, you're the pianist, and now, and by the way, I'm going to jump back here real quick. Kieron, you said something about a new band. Well, you guys have been around for 2012, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, with different members here and there. The band we are today, though, it's only been, I suppose, since Christmas sort of time.
Yeah, that was when we got our new bassist, Chris, in. So the actual current lineup has only been the way it is for maybe the last 5 or 6 months. So that's why we've been taking our time, just trying to get the right people to make sure that, we're happy and that we want to continue together without any problems.
Sure. I appreciate that. Well, with that being said, that you guys are both original members, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Now, that's where I'm going with this, Loz, because, now you are more in with Kieron as far as you're helping to write some of the songs now, right? Because Kieron has kind of been the lead when it comes to writing, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
So now, how do you give your input to him? And afterwards, Kieron, I'm going to hit you up because I'm going to say, well, since you've been the main guy all along, how does Loz's input influence you? So let's start with you, Loz.
Well, I find that when I know Kieron's writing a new song, he'll sort of just disappear for a couple of days, and I won't see him of an evening because we live together here in Leicester. And if I hear him playing and I think, certain chords don't fit, or if he sounds like he's getting frustrated because he can't think of something to go for the bridge or the chorus, then I'll sort of step in and say, I think I've got a good idea here, and then we'll sort of share ideas, and that's how on the last few songs we've came up with what we have, and that's how they've actually been brought to life, by just the pair of us sitting there for hours and going through the most ridiculous lyrics, and then lyrics that actually work, and different solos and stuff. So I definitely enjoy having more of an input these days than what I used to, because I just used to leave it all to Kieron, really. Okay,
now Kieron, back at you. How is it, since you've got and I'm not putting you ahead of anybody else, I'm just saying you've been the main songwriter. How is it now that you have Loz contributing to that? Is it, I'm a perfectionist. Let me kind of line it up. I'm a perfectionist, all right? So sometimes I find it, and I'll be honest, I'm stubborn. And sometimes it interferes with my train of thought if somebody gives me an idea. On the other hand, sometimes when I ask for it, well, that's a whole different story. What's your take on it?
Well, the thing is, over the years of being in different bands and stuff, I never got to be the lead writer. I was always sort of like the other guys kind of are now, with the exception of Loz at the moment or recently. I've always been the additional guitar player at the side, so someone will write down the main lyrics, main chord structure, and then I'll fill in all the bits in between and try and make it sound pretty, So coming out of them bands, I started to write solo, and then I decided, okay, I could really do a new band now to take these songs further. But as soon as the bands began, the first thing I said was, right, my writing, taking over the whole writing process, days are finished now. It's up to all of us to contribute to the whole writing process of each song, because that way, being in a band's like a family, so everyone's got to have their own input to feel a part of that family. So I think it's like really, really important that everyone gets to write their own parts at least, if not other people's parts and lyrics and chipping in here and there. I commit as much as possible, and I mean, even just with Somewhere, our new song, it just kind of shows how many new elements we've brought to our sound. I love it. The more the other guys can get involved, which is sometimes hard because we're disconnected. Through the week we live here in Leicester because of job commitments, and the others still live in Liverpool. So it's hard to make that connection, especially in the writing stages and everything else. But as soon as we're together, we're there and we're helping each other out with each other's parts and helping out with the writing process as a whole. So yeah, that's the way things are sort of going nowadays.
So the song Somewhere, that was a collaboration of all of the band members?
Yeah, well, mainly Loz sort of took the lead in a way of like chord structure of the song, and she was the lead lyrical writer, and then we kind of left the other parts up to the rest of the band because we feel that sort of it's important for them to be able to write their own parts rather than us telling them what to play. But obviously we all influence each other. If someone plays something and someone else has got a better idea, it could be any of the players, because for instance Phil has played bass in the past, so we'd be able to help Chris out with the bass. I've played lead before, so I'm always helping out Sean. So yeah, no, it happens all over the show really. But by the time the song's complete, you forget who's wrote what, which I find great.
Oh no, actually, and I agree with you, because that means, as I would say, you guys are truly blending at that point. If it, because, and I've brought this up before, sometimes with bands, egos kind of get in the way. You've seen that throughout the years. It's just what it is. And when I hear that refreshing story, which you just told me, that you don't know who did what, but it just sounds good, to me, that's refreshing. It really, really is. By the way, I would be remiss if you guys didn't please introduce the rest of your band members who are not with us tonight.
Oh, right. Well, you got Chris, who plays bass. Is he on work at the moment, or is he getting ready to... Oh, he's busy doing something. Where's he? He's going on holiday for a stag do or something?
Yeah, I think he's definitely listening at the moment, but I think he's packing a suitcase, like, in between.
He's about to jet off to somewhere.
Somewhere.
And then there's Sean. He's listening at home. He's the lead guitarist. And me and Sean go way back. We've been friends since we were like, I don't know, 10 or something. And there's Phil. He went to my high school, and he's the drummer, and he's listening right now. So hi, Phil.
Yeah, by the way, Sean, Chris, and Phil, hey, you are just as much as part of this interview, so I want to give you guys a big shout out too. All right, now let's get to the story, because and people can go out to our website and they can read the bio themselves. But I was listening to the interview you did with the BBC, and I was also reading your bio. And you guys, in September of last year, you actually moved from the Liverpool area.
Yeah. And
it got to the point where I'm reading this, and you actually say, at first you thought it was going to be very difficult. And you know what? I understand. Everybody who's works at American Veterans Radio, and everybody, we're all volunteers. We all work jobs, so I understand that from the bottom of my heart. Believe me, I do. But at first you said, how are we going to make this work, right? And then all of a sudden you said, well, maybe this is working really good because, and you finish the because.
Well, because, again, it goes back to bands that we've both been in before. You can practice day in, day out with a band, but whether you're actually doing anything that's productive, that's a whole different story. So when we go home on the weekends, we might have like 4 or 5 hours together, and you've got so much to do in them 4 or 5 hours. So you use your time well, rather than just, messing about or just, not really getting on with anything that's constructive. So that's how we make it work. If anything, it's helped us to like streamline the process of the way we work. It's worked well, and then through the week we've got time to do other things, like because we do our own recordings ourselves and stuff. We can mix through the week, or we can do some of the promotion side of things, or just things like that. That's how it works.
Yeah. Things like hanging out with American Veterans Radio. So we do appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. Just chatting to people from across the world.
Now, you say that, and we have time to do this and that. You also, the way I understand, you guys were just part of the Rock and Roll Liverpool Marathon last month. Which is a really, from what I'm reading, is a really cool thing, because this is like, throughout the years, it's gone to like 75,000 different charities, right? Or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's really big.
And so, is that in the Liverpool area?
Yeah, we did it on the dock. We were sort of on the final strip before they came back into the dock by the Echo Arena, which is like our main sort of concert arena place. And it was really great. Do you want to tell them a bit about it?
Oh yeah, it was just me, Sean and Kieron that we did an acoustic set, because Phil was actually away that weekend, so we thought, even though one member of the band isn't here, we still want to be able to, take this opportunity and play. So we sort of turned up, and we were on this bandstand, which was right by the Liverpool Mersey River. So it was like 9 o'clock in the morning, absolutely freezing. And then as soon as we started playing, we were just in complete shock at the amount of people that were running past us. Like, there was literally hundreds upon hundreds of people at a time, like, cheering us and taking photos of us, and it was just like completely overwhelming.
And that's the thing, they were cheering us even though they've just ran a marathon. We were trying our best to cheer them.
Yeah.
It was bizarre, the whole thing, but like, one experience, it was so good.
Guys, what I'm hearing is you've got the right attitude, you've got the right mindset, and you definitely have the talent. So I am so proud that American Veterans Radio could, and will, by the way, continue to play your music to the world. You guys are just too cool, and I just want to tell you that.
Yeah, I just want to say how cool your voice is. You don't get radio DJs with a voice like that over here, put it that way.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we do appreciate it. And everybody, I want you, please, to let Lyra know that you heard him on American Veterans Radio. Go out to our website, www.edradio.org, and go to the Artist Spotlight. You will find them. Let them know, let Loz and Kieron know that you heard them on American Veterans Radio. And by the way, yes, I did my research, Loz. Tell your fine Kaline, our cat, Charlie, hello, okay? So.
Oh, my God. My mum and dad will be so happy right now.
No, where can people find your music? Please tell us that before we get out of here.
You can find all of our music available to download for free on soundcloud.com/LyraCloud. We're also on most social networking platforms. We're on Facebook, as I'm sure most of the people listening to this know. We've been getting a lot of messages and lovely comments through all week. We're also on Twitter and YouTube and Instagram. So if you just search Lyra Liverpool on pretty much anything, then we should appear somewhere.
You know what? I got to tell this real quick before I get out of here. The fact that, I was doing Lyra, and I know about, the Constellation and all that kind of stuff, right? But I also found a street by the name of Lyra in Liverpool.
Oh, really?
In Liverpool?
Yes. Well, it's a Liverpool, Waterloo, or what was it? Lyra, was it Waterpool, then Liverpool. So.
We're going to have to check that out. That's where our next photo shoot will be.
Yeah, I was going to say, you really need to do that, because I did find it. They even have places for sale there. So I'm like, okay, I'll go buy a house there, right? So.
yeah, come on over.
Brilliant. I will give you a live acoustic set then.
Yeah, so check that out. And by the way, everybody, please check out Lyra Artist Spotlight. And you know what? It does my heart good, guys, because you said, Loz, that people have been commenting and said they heard about you, and I'm glad that our listeners around the world have let you know that they're here, and we do appreciate everything you do, because you know what? When this station started, it was all about our vets and that, and it's exponentially just grown beyond our belief, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
and we have such great listeners, literally such great listeners from 179 countries. It blows me
it's
away.
Amazing.
So you guys have you've changed it. People love what you're doing, and please continue to keep doing it, first of all. And secondly, you have an open invitation here. If you get new music, we'll play it. If you want to come on and just say something for a few minutes, you got it.
Thanks so much.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks for showcasing us, and it's just been brilliant, and I know keep in touch, and we'll be looking at all the other bands that you've got to showcase as well.
Also, before we go, we'd just like to take this opportunity to say a massive thank you to American Veterans Radio for giving us this opportunity this week to be heard like all over the world. It's just, we can't get our head around it. And shout out to all the veterans and first responders around the world from me and Kieron and the rest of Lyra.
You guys are phenomenal. That was so sweet. Thank you so much.
And a massive thanks to you, Jim.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I've had a great time, and I know everybody else is too. Guys, ladies and gentlemen.